Selling a property with a tenant in situ, that is, while the tenant remains living in the property, can be a viable strategy for landlords, particularly those aiming to attract buy-to-let investors. However, it introduces a unique set of challenges that differ significantly from selling a vacant property. From legal obligations to buyer limitations, tenant relations, and valuation complexities, there are various hurdles property owners must navigate. In this article, we explore the key challenges of selling a tenanted property and how to effectively address them. One of the most significant challenges is the restricted buyer audience. When a property is sold with a tenant in situ, it generally appeals only to other landlords or property investors. Most residential buyers looking for a home to live in will be deterred by the legal and logistical complications of acquiring a property with an existing tenant. Reduced market demand can lead to longer time on market. Lower competition among buyers may result in a reduced sale price. UK landlords must comply with a wide range of legal responsibilities when selling a tenanted property. These include providing a valid tenancy agreement, ensuring compliance with gas safety, electrical safety, and energy performance regulations, confirming that the tenant's deposit is protected in a government-approved scheme, and issuing all required legal documents. Non-compliance can delay the sale, trigger legal disputes, or even lead to the sale falling through altogether. Tenants have legal rights that must be respected throughout the sale process. They are entitled to quiet enjoyment of the property and cannot be forced out unless a proper legal notice is served. Common challenges include lack of cooperation in allowing access for viewings or surveys, refusal to vacate the property even after the sale is completed, and disruption of the tenant's lifestyle, leading to strained relationships and possible complaints. Open and respectful communication with tenants and offering incentives can improve cooperation during the sales process. Selling a property with a sitting tenant can affect its market valuation in several ways. It may be valued lower than a vacant property due to reduced buyer demand. Valuation is influenced by the existing rental income and tenant type. A long-term tenant on a low rent may reduce the yield and therefore the attractiveness to investors. In contrast, if the property is well maintained and occupied by a tenant with a solid payment history, it can still be seen as a stable investment by buy-to-let buyers. Buyers planning to purchase with a mortgage may encounter restrictions. Some lenders may refuse to finance a property with a tenant in situ. Others may impose conditions such as proof of rental income or tenancy agreements. The buyer's mortgage application may take longer to process, potentially delaying the sale. Cash buyers or specialist buy-to-let mortgage providers are typically better suited to purchasing tenanted properties. Selling a tenanted property requires full transparency and disclosure of tenant details. Buyers will typically expect a copy of the current tenancy agreement, rent payment history, and any rent arrears, tenancy deposit scheme certificate, and evidence of compliance with legal obligations. Failure to provide these can raise red flags and cause the buyer to withdraw from the sale. The type and length of the tenancy agreement can impact the timing and success of the sale. A periodic tenancy offers more flexibility. A fixed-term tenancy limits the buyer's ability to gain vacant possession quickly. Eviction notice periods add complexity and must comply with the latest UK legislation. Landlords must plan the timing of the sale carefully, particularly if the buyer requires vacant possession. Selling a property with a tenant who has rent arrears or a history of antisocial behavior can significantly reduce the property's appeal. Buyers may view such cases as high-risk investments, leading to further price negotiation or sale collapse. Sellers should be honest about tenant issues and may consider offering a discount or negotiating with the tenant to resolve issues prior to marketing the property. If the tenanted property is not the seller's primary residence, the sale may trigger capital gains tax liabilities. Furthermore, the presence of a tenant may affect how CGT is calculated, especially if private residence relief or letting relief is applicable. Landlords should seek advice from a qualified accountant or property tax advisor before finalizing the sale. While selling a property with a tenant in situ can provide advantages, such as ongoing rental income during the sales process and appealing to investor buyers, It is clear that the process involves considerable challenges. These include legal, financial, practical, and interpersonal hurdles that must be carefully managed to ensure a smooth and successful sale. For landlords looking to avoid complications, an alternative route is to sell to a cash home buying company that specializes in purchasing tenanted properties. These firms often have the expertise and infrastructure to handle in-situ tenants efficiently, offering a faster and more assured sale.